I have a sister who, at the age of 14, she got hit by a car. Now, a lot of, the doctors said that she wasn't going to survive, but it's always a blessing when I look at her now, because she wasn't able to walk, she wasn't able to talk, and now my sister is able to sing, give God all the glory. She's probably the loudest in the church, and all we can say is glory to God.
What's your first name?
My niece.
And a great and strong wind rent the mountains, and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake, and after the earthquake a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire a still small voice.
First and foremost, it wasn't my plan. This is not something I woke up in the morning wanting to do. I was going to be a medical missionary, but one day, once I got to Oakwood, God told me that through a pastor that if I didn't go his way, then there was no other way. There was one time when I had just become a theology major, one of my friend's parents came to me and she said, "What makes you think you should be a theology major?" And I was angry at God. I was very angry at him because I was like, God, why are you going to put me into something that you're not going to keep me in? And I felt that he was allowing me to be attacked by people who didn't understand that this wasn't my plan. And then that day I had walked into the Blake Center, which is where we have our cafeteria and a lot of offices. And there's a butterfly in the building, and I saw it flying around, and I probably looked really silly because I stopped and I stared at the butterfly, and I just watched it go through the building, and before I knew it, I was trying to free it because somehow it couldn't get out of Blake. And so people are watching me do this, and they're kind of like, what is wrong with Sarina today? Really, what's going on? I take someone's hat or something and I put it over the butterfly and I make sure I move it past the glass. And while I was watching it hit the glass, I was realizing that sometimes God was speaking to me as this whole thing was going on, that you're going to hit these walls and you're not going to see why you can't move on. But there's always going to be something that helps you get past that thing that you can't see, the obstacle that's invisible. And when it had flew away, it reminded me of one time when my mother had just became an Adventist and her family was having a lot of issues with it. And the thing that happened was she sat by a tree and a butterfly came and landed on her. And I felt like God had spoken to me and said, I've got you. There's a peace I'm going to give you that you're not going to get, but I've got you. And it's going to take some time, and you may not understand, but I have you. And I'm going to free you from the situations that you're in. I'm going to free you from this idea that you have to do what the status quo is. And I'm going to have you be in a ministry that you're going to love. And now I do. And I couldn't thank God more for it.